Let's continue our discussion about how we can train learners into recognizing and spelling words for fluent reading in order to help them become fluent readers. So, one of the aspects which needs discussion is the role of phonics and how we can incorporate phonics into a good reading program. That's what we are going to discuss now. Right. So, obviously, as you are aware that reading, when we are involved in reading, our word recognition is actually um, helped by our familiarity of what we are reading. Or if we come across some unknown words, how we get help from our contextual knowledge to read those words or understand those words. So sometimes we can train our learners to recognize words as complete units, and sometimes we can help them break the words or break the spellings into smaller units and make make sense of their sound patterns or the sound spelling relationship. So phonics actually involves the spelling sound relationships, how the spelling sound correspondences actually help make students become fluent readers. So it has its significance for actually for learning to read and for learning to spell. So there are various ways we can integrate phonics well into a good reading program. So one of the ways is to help students to read specifically some chosen isolated words. For example, we can um, the cat sat. We can break these sentences into three isolated words and train our learners in that way. And we can introduce phonics with known words. I mean, the words which our learners are already familiar with. And there is a word of caution in this regard that we should avoid introducing some unseen or unknown words because in order to make our learners become fluent readers, it's always better to keep repeating the known words, and once they have been internalized or automatized, then we can go for some unknown words. So there are various ways of helping extending the knowledge of uh, phonics. And one of the ways is to bring in some interesting texts in the classroom, which stimulate, which attract the attention of the readers. So another way is to have a one-to-one sitting and find out the problems which the learners come across and address those problems. So another way is to teach the most simple, frequent, and regular spelling sounds. By this, I mean like the words which are known to the readers, which they know well, which they have already internalized, and we can polish their sound system. So, there are um, another way is to um, teach them how to spell out the sounds in a word. So this, in this way, we can especially focus on concentrating on the first sound, first letter of a word, and no matter if we have to, I mean, we have to resort to standard English. So in this regard, the research indicates, SLA research, second language acquisition research indicates that it's important to help learners take some bold steps when they are trying to recognize words and spell them. By bold steps, I mean to say when they are trying to invent the spellings inventing spellings is very important, and it's important for a reading teacher to allow the learners to invent spelling and ask them to write spelling, because in this way we can help learners develop fluency in reading. And if we don't allow invention in spelling, the learners might become shy, or they might uh, might be um might be taking up some avoidance strategies to write well. So this is how we we've seen the role of phonics in a good reading program, because it helps fluency and it helps gives meaning focused input.